Did you know that there are two kinds of fears? The good fear and the not so good fear? Hi, this is Nirmala Shekhar, a coach and a body talk practitioner from Singapore, and I'm continuing our journey through the map of self care. In the last video, I talked about our emotional needs and the stages that we go through in this cycle of our needs. Did you know that each stage is like a holding area, a temporary address, and not a permanent address? Life is a flow like a river, and we keep moving through the stages in cycles. And most of us do this automatically without being aware of it. But sometimes we get caught up in one stage and we are not able to move to the next stage. And the longer we are stuck in that stage, the longer it takes for us to move to the next stage, the more difficult it becomes to move to the next stage. And how do we know it's time to go from one stage to the other? That's where the fear comes in. Like I said before, we have two kinds of fears: the good fear, the fear when we feel somebody staring at us, or the fear when we know that our account has been hacked or we have been cheated. All those fears are good fears. They keep us safe, they help us to survive, and they are very important in our safety. And these fears need to be honored. But there's another kind of fear that keeps us stuck in a particular stage in the needs cycle. And that is the fear that we need to push through. They say courage is the taking of action in spite of fear, not taking action because there is no fear. So we use courage to move through our fears that are holding us back in a particular stage. And the longer we have been stuck in a stage, the greater is the level of fear, because the greater is the inertia as well. So some people can have a mild discomfort, fear, greater fear, and sheer panic, depending on how long we have been stuck and what the next phase means for them. So in these cases, let's be gentle with ourselves. Let's take baby steps, especially if it involves a lot of fear and panic. Let's take baby steps, but take the steps. Baby steps at a time. Pat ourselves on the back. Be grateful for those baby steps, and then take the next few baby steps. With each step, the next one becomes easier and easier until we are able to move from one stage to the next. Let me give you an example, a simple example of a young girl who is going for her first job in a new country. She's been living with her parents. Her parents have taken care of all her needs, physically as well as financially. And now she is getting ready to move to a new job in a new country. So you can imagine what her fears and worries would be. Even with the excitement of taking this step, there will be fears of, will the city be okay? Can she manage in this new country? Will she get new friends? How will the job be? Will it be safe for her? Will she be able to manage by herself in a new country when she has done nothing by herself before? So those are the worries that are keeping her in this safety stage. Let's say she moves to the country and then she goes to the job and she finds her colleagues and boss to be very friendly and very helpful. And she's also able to find a nice place for her to stay, one that is in a good locality and is within her budget. Very quickly, she's able to go from the safety stage to the comfort stage, because even with that physical need being met, is the accompanying emotional need being met, and that is one of reassurance. Reassurance that her place is good, she has friendly neighbors who smile at her colleagues are helpful, so she becomes very comfortable in the comfort stage. And because it's a new country, new life, she's very quickly pushed to do her things by herself in the growth stage. So things like finding a place to shop for her groceries, all the furnishing or all the things that she needs to buy within her budget, taking care of her daily routine by herself, sleeping alone, especially since she has never lived by herself before. So, sleeping alone, and any other things that she's got to do by herself, managing her finances by herself, all of those are growth stages for her. They are physically new things that she has to do, but attached to the physical actions are the emotional ones, which is what we are looking at, of doing this work by herself, overcoming her fear, her inhibition, even her concept that she may not be able to manage, overcoming all of that to be able to grow in this new way. Her emotional needs then become one of acceptance. Acceptance so that she is comfortable if she makes mistakes, accept those mistakes, lift herself up, and continue. Her emotional need of joy and excitement at trying new things. And so, this growth stage, young girl, when she is comfortable in that growth stage of being creative and trying new things, then she is ready to move on to the release stage, where she can release her worries, her fears, her anxieties of the new place. Now, if she had been in the safety stage and somebody had advised her to release the fears and worries, it would have been very difficult. But because she has already moved through the comfort stage and the growth stage, it becomes easy for her to release her fears, worries, and anxieties. And the moment she is able to release her fears, worries, and anxieties, then she is ready to go to the renewal stage, explore the city for new friends, new groups, new interests, new projects that are very satisfying to her creatively and something that she is passionate about. And if she picks something that is very new for her, a new project, and she starts working on it reasonable amount of time until it becomes something concrete, she's going to shift to a new safety stage of bringing this project alive and doing something concrete with it. And the cycle then continues. So let me ask you, is there a fear that you are aware of that is holding you stuck in any of these stages? And if you are aware of that fear or that discomfort, what can you do to push through that, to take the next step, to go forward to the next stage in that cycle? Thank you for joining me in this video, and we shall see you in the next video, where I will be talking about the spiral, the downward and the upward spiral of emotions. Thank you for joining me. Bye bye. Namaste. Do subscribe and hit the bell button for more weekly content on self care. And if you want even more actionable content on self care, do join me in the Facebook group for weekly lives, discussions, and more tips.